Hello everyone. I would like to welcome you to today's virtual math session. I'll be so excited to walk you through some interesting mathematical problems. So first and foremost, we have three math problems to solve, which is actually based on logarithmic simplification. As you can see, we have question number one on the screen, and also we have another math problem which is actually based on mean calculation. That's for question number two, as you can see. And as for the third problem, is slightly based on geometry, something like that. So I will try my possible best to break down the solutions to all these three math problems. Okay, so now let's dive in and start with the first problem. So for the first question we actually have here, so let's start with the solution. So I would like to just go ahead with solution to question number one. So let's deal with the solution to question number one, for instance. So for question number one, the question says simplify 3 log 9 base 6. So we have the logarithm value as 9, and then we have the logarithm base as 6, while we have the coefficient for the logarithm to be 3. And then we want to add this together with logarithm of 12 to be 6, and at the same time added with logarithm of 64 to be 6, and then finally subtracting it with logarithm of 72 to be 6. Now trivially looking at this kind of question, if you need to, if you want to deduce this first term, which is logarithm of 9 base 3, which is being multiplied by 3, we have logarithm of 9 base 6, which is being multiplied by 3. So the best thing for you to do here is to go ahead and apply what we call the power law of logarithm. We have several laws of logarithm. So you just have you only need to take a step backward in this case in such a way that this 3 needs to go up here, and then we end up having it as logarithm of 9 raised to the power of 3 to be 6 according to power law of logarithm. You can take it vice versa. You can take a step backward in the law. Okay. You know, since we have no coefficients for this first term, so the same thing applies to the second term and the third term and the fourth term. We don't have any coefficients for all of them. So I can just go ahead and relate all together. So we have the same thing as logarithm of 12 to be 6 in this case, and then plus logarithm of 64 to be 6, then negative logarithm of 72 to be 6 in that regard. So looking at this solution, we just need to proceed in this case. And once you have this kind of expression, according to law of logarithm, if you have two or more logarithm expression that is being separated by either plus or minus, you need to apply some certain laws. Okay, we have the addition law of logarithm, and then we have the subtraction law of logarithm. So if I want to combine all these terms together using both addition law in this case, in this second case, and then in this third case, I'll make use of the subtraction law of logarithm. So the best thing for us to do is to just go ahead and take logarithm of this of the base, which are all the same, as a single term. So once you take logarithm to be 6 as the common factor to all the logarithm expression, then according to the law of logarithm, the logarithm value for the first term is 9 raised to the power of 3. Since the sign that separates the first term and the second term expression here is plus, then you go ahead and apply the multiplication sign to it, times 12. Then at the same time, we have plus the third term. According to additional law of logarithm, plus turns to multiplication, then you multiply it by 64. And then finally, whatever you have as your final answer, as a final result, minus 72 means once you apply subtraction law of logarithm, it becomes division divided by what? 72. So trivially, we just need to put this in our calculator, and then we get our final result. So 9 raised to the power of 3 simply implies that we need to multiply 9 in 3 places. So which is 9 raised to the power of 3. Let me clear this. 9 raised to the power of 3. That should give us Okay, sorry for that. Coming. Let me try to clear this off. So now I want to press 9 raised to the power of 3. And then we have it as 729. 729 times 12. We need to multiply it by 12 and then finally multiply it by 64, I think. Let me check it out. Coming. So we have 64, yes, times 64. So once I add that, the next thing for me to do is just go ahead and press the equal to sign. So then we have 559872. So remember that we still have to divide it by 72. So if I go ahead and divide this by 72, I have the final result as 7,776. So we have our final result as 7,776. Now we have logarithm of 7776 base 6. If I want to deduce this, I need to consider the base and then express this value. This is a whole number, right? So I can actually express this to an index number. That is, I can transform this whole number to um, indices form and to an index form in such a way that looking at this 7776 and I add this base as 6, I'm very sure that if I multiply 6 in multiple times, I should have 776. So if I ask myself, how many times will I have to multiply 6 to get this result? So trivially speaking, that should be like around 4 times or 5 times or 6 times. Should be within that range. So if I go ahead and multiply 6 in 6 places or probably 5 places, 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try 5 times. So I can easily confirm that using my calculator. So 6 raised to the power of 5. Let's try 5. Wow, that's 776. So now that we have our results, then it is clearly seen that this expression, this value that we have as 7776 can be expressed as 6 raised to the power of 5. So if I decide to apply power law of logarithm in this case, this power becomes the coefficient and is going to multiply the whole of the expression for that log. So then you have 5 times logarithm of 6 to be 6, and that's 5 times 1, and our final result of this question is 5. So trivially speaking, the final answer to question number one here is 5. So we have a final answer for that. This is equivalent to what? To 5. Now let's quickly dive into the next question, which is question number 2. So I would like to dive into the next question, which is question number 2. But before I do that, let me just go ahead and save this video. Watch out for the second part. Thank you.